Good afternoon, everyone. David Paul speaking. I want to try and talk us through this afternoon through the steps to applying the Midas touch technique that I talked about last weekend. Before I can do that, however, I have to direct your attention to this disclaimer. At VectorVest, we can't give you personalized financial advice, and that disclaimer talks us through that. We don't know who you are, we don't know whether you're rich, whether you're poor, we have no idea of your background, so we can't give personalized financial advice. So that said, I'll get out of that and go back to the front page of VectorVest. It's Friday afternoon, it's Friday the 11th of April. We have a situation where we've had the primary wave in VectorVest is down, and the longer term trend is up. Now, the first step in applying the Midas touch technique is in fact to look at market timing. So I'd be happier if we were in an up situation. But nevertheless, let's proceed with that said. Now, in both South Africa and in the UK, I've been very impressed by a search that's found under the conservative folder called Pale Blue Chips, and that particular search has stood me in very good stead over the last few years in South Africa, and I've applied it in the UK as well. It seems to be working exceptionally well. It doesn't shoot the lights out, but nevertheless it finds shares that are growing their share price and paying a dividend safely. And I find that and it struck me that the search would be ideal to find shares which we could then go on to apply the Midas touch to. It is a conservative search and will suit those of you that are conservative by nature like myself. So where do we find this? If I click on Uni Search and just click on conservative and Pale Blue Chips. There it is, and I've already loaded it. It looks for a relative safety above 1.25. The share should be growing its earnings at greater than 10%. It should be growing at pay a dividend of more than 1, growing that dividend at 10% a year. And VectorVest tell me that if the dividend safety is above 50, then it's growing that dividend safely. Now, if I run that particular search on last night's data, I find 42 shares that satisfy those fairly conservative criteria. So the fundamentals of those shares look good, and what I'm going to try and do now is that I'm going to chart those all for us. Might take a second. Shares are sorted by a combination of VST and YSG. Value, safety, and trend. Yield, the safety of the yield, and the growth of the yield. Right at the top is next. There's the Midas touch layout. I'll put it up to 3 months, as we should do. Remember, the first green line is a 10-period moving average of the VectorVest stop. The red line is a 65-period moving average of the VectorVest stop. And the pink line down here is a 40-day moving average of the RT measurement on VectorVest. And to qualify to get into the Midas touch, all three should be making a new high over the last 3 months. Now, in next, it's clear to me that the RT is making a new high, the 65-day is making a new high, the 10-day is kinked down for the last couple of days. So I'm going to watch that, and I put it into my list. I'm going to watch it. I don't think it's that far away. So right at the top of my list, I've got next. Next, I look at Berkeley, no. As you can see, the RT, no. Bellway, no. Kingfisher, yes. So I've got next and Kingfisher. Galliford, yes. Legal & General has got hit by Mr. Osborne. Caledonian Investments, no. These are good, and we could quite easily get a signal from this as time goes on. This can quite easily make a new high over the next week, so something to look at. Schroders Financial, this is flat. I'll leave that. Howden Joinery, RT has come off. I did really well in the share a while back. The RT has come off a little bit here. Okay. Savills, certainly not. Doesn't fulfill the criteria. Barrett, RT has let us down. The momentum of the trend has let us down. Close Brothers, nope. Inchcape, yes. Okay. Really great little share. Fulfills the criteria of the Midas touch. Bodycoat, yes. Okay. St. James's Place, no. Bloomsbury, no. Ricardo, no. JD Sports, no. Bovis Homes, no. Remember when you watch these, they can turn up again. Rathbones, yes. Trifast, a great share, but no. RPS, no. Spectrus, no. Charles Stanley, no. Laird, no. Senior, no. Smiths, no. Capita, yes. In a strong trend, the Midas touch, guys, finds a trend that resembles a 40-ton truck speeding up. It finds a big, big brute of a trend. I love my metaphors. You'll have to bear with me. 4, no. Not far off. It's worth looking at. Schroders PLC, yes. Bunzl, I don't know this share, yes. And another one, let's go a little bit further. Fisher James, certainly not. Johnson Matthey, certainly not. No. No. Ted Baker, no. No. Babcock, no. Bernsden, this is flat for the last day or two. That's going flat for the last day or two. Worth a watch. Okay, so guys, in a few seconds, what I've done is that I've applied a search that finds shares that are growing their earnings and paying a dividend safely. And then I've applied the Midas touch to those shares, and I've found in a few minutes 10 shares that fulfill both criteria. Next, Kingfisher, Galliford, Schroders PLC, Inchcape, Bodycoat, Rathbones, Capita, Berensden, Bunzl. And that took seconds. So there's no excuse, guys, for not having enough time. Let's see how those shares do. Thanks very much. David Paul speaking.